Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Learning Notebook. Today, we are continuing our series Computer Fundamentals, and this is Lesson 5. In this lesson, we will learn about the input and output devices. But before we begin, make sure to watch the previous lessons from the Computer Fundamentals for Beginners playlist. Now let's get started. So here is our roadmap for today's class. First up, we're going to look at input devices. Then we'll flip over to output devices. Third, we'll do a direct comparison between the two to really understand why they matter so much. Fourth, we'll tie the whole thing together with something called the IPO cycle. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a quick recap quiz to test what we've learned. All right, let's jump in. Section 1, Input Devices. Now, to truly understand a computer system, you really have to know how we actually communicate with it in the first place, right? Well, that's where input devices come in. These are the physical hardware components that act as the literal front doors for your information. They basically perform three main functions. First, they accept data straight from us. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, they translate our physical actions into a machine-readable form. I'm talking about those binary ones and zeros. And third, they send that newly translated data directly to the CPU so the computer can actually do something with it. You literally use so many of these every single day without even thinking about it. The keyboard, obviously, is your primary tool for typing and giving commands. The mouse helps you navigate by pointing and clicking around your screen. A scanner is pretty amazing because it digitizes your physical paper documents. For your voice, you're going to use a microphone, while gamers out there use joysticks for that super precise control. And finally, a webcam captures your real-world physical image and brings it straight into a digital system. Section 2, Output Devices. Okay, so we know how to push information into the computer, but how does the computer actually talk back to us? Well, that is exactly the job of output devices. If input devices are the entrance doors, output devices are the exit doors. They do the exact opposite. They take the CPU's processed machine language, those ones and zeros, and convert it back into human-readable form. This is what provides us with the visual and audio feedback we can actually, understand. Let's look at a few everyday examples of these. The monitor is your main visual display. In fact, it's what you are looking at right now. A printer takes those digital files and pushes out a physical hard copy. To actually hear your computer, speakers project sound to the whole room, whereas headphones give you a much more private listening experience. And if you're presenting to a larger audience, a projector beams your screen right onto a wall. Section 3, Comparison and Importance. Now that we've got a handle on what these devices are, let's put them side by side. The most critical difference here is the direction of the information flow. Input devices move information from you, the user, into the computer. Output devices reverse that entirely, moving data from the computer back to you. Think of input as your data entry and output as your result presentation. Most importantly, input converts human actions into machine code, while output translates that machine code back into something human-readable. It's a perfect loop. So why is this constant two-way translation so incredibly critical? Well, these devices are what enable actual, meaningful communication between you and the machine. Without them, a computer is literally just a sealed, useless box of wires. They drive the entire data processing cycle, they let you interact with all your software, and they make absolutely everything, from intense gaming to your daily business tasks, possible. Section 4, the IPO cycle. This brings us to a really core concept of how data journeys through a computer system from start to finish. It's called the IPO cycle, which stands for input, process, output. It's wonderfully simple. Step 1, input devices capture the raw data. Step 2, the CPU does the actual processing and calculating. It's the brain doing the heavy lifting. Step 3, output devices present the final result back to you. Almost everything you do on a computer, no matter how complex, follows this exact three-step journey. Section 5, Quick Recap. All right, it is time to test your knowledge. Let's see just how much you retained from today's lesson. Get ready. Question 1. Input devices send data to A, output unit, B, memory only, C, CPU, or D, internet. Think back to that IPO cycle we just talked about. Where exactly does the data go right after the input stage? The correct answer is C, CPU. The central processing unit takes that raw input data so it can immediately begin processing it. Moving right along to question 2. Which device converts human-readable output into machine-readable form? A, printer, B, keyboard, C, monitor, or D, speaker. Think carefully about the direction of the conversion here. And the correct answer is B, keyboard. It takes your physical human typing and translates it into binary machine code that the computer can actually use. Question 3. Now this one is a bit of a trick question because it combines two concepts. Which device is both input and output? A. Touchscreen monitor, B. Keyboard, C. Mouse, or D. CPU?
The correct answer is A, touchscreen monitor. It displays information to you just like a standard monitor, making it output, but it also lets you tap and interact directly with the screen, making it input. A very cool hybrid device for sure.
Here is question 4. Which device is used for audio input? A. Speaker, B. Microphone, C. Printer, or D. Monitor? Focus really closely on the word input here. The correct answer is B. Microphone. Remember, a speaker is an output device because the sound is being pushed out of the computer toward you. And our final question for today, question 5. Which of these is a pointing device? A. Keyboard, B. Mouse, C. Printer, or D. Scanner? The correct answer is B. Mouse. Excellent job if you got all of those right. Make sure to remember these key facts as they are the absolute foundational building blocks of everything you will do on a computer. Before we go, think about this. With virtual reality and brain-computer interfaces on the horizon, what do you think the input devices of the future will look like? So that was it for today's lesson. I hope you found this class useful and learned something new about personal computers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for upcoming lessons in our Computer Fundamentals series. In the next class, we will study peripheral devices. Until then, stay tuned, stay healthy, and happy studying. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.